Yo, what's up? It's your boy Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Legends never die, they stay in our hearts. If you want to support us, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also you can come down here and hit the join button under the video or in our channel section. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/currency365. And we also have Cash App and also PayPal for supports if you want to sow some seeds. Peace out. God bless. Enjoy the video and keep the movement going. Legends. Bye. All right. Welcome back to Currency 365 on Eyes Open Media. Hope you guys are doing well. Where I got two quick videos for you guys. This one is about the Vietnamese dong. It's the same person had two different dreams, and so I'm going to go through this one, and then I'll do an XRP one that he just gave me today. Now, this one was back in November 2023, and I don't think I've done I don't think I did a video on it. Maybe I did do a video on it for Currency 365, but maybe I forgot or I don't remember. So I'm just doing it again for Eyes Open Media here. And it's a quick dream, and so it'll be a quick video here. So about the Vietnamese dong. Now the Vietnamese dong, we haven't talked much about over the last, let's say, 2 years. 2 years, we barely said anything about the Vietnamese dong because there's really nothing to say. I mean, they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're moving around in their government and their economy, and their economy had exploded 14 years ago, back in 2010. As they were preparing for the global reset, right? And everybody in Vietnam was supposed to offer the world 5 cents, and their import exports business absolutely exploded. Their economy exploded. They were competing with China in imports and export, and actually beating China in imports and exports business. But the citizens of Vietnam didn't see any of that money, right? That money went to the corrupt. It went to the corrupt governments. It went to building resorts and travel areas. But when you go inland, everything is, the poverty level is ridiculous, right? So it's like, man, how are you doing so well economically, but it's not translating into the rest of your country? People are living like it's in the 1400s, So except for of course the resort area, and that's what usually happens with these corrupt governments. Everything is, it's always the resort areas where people can travel, where all the millionaires and billionaires and six-figure people want to travel. They get all the new technology, and they get all the luxury, and then you go inland though, and it's all poverty. It's like the money doesn't trickle down, right? So there's just no trickle down effect. But anyway, Vietnamese dong remains a sleeper. A lot of people don't own the Vietnamese dong, and we're gonna watch it play out here in the coming years. And I've always said, and I've said for a couple years now, when China goes for Taiwan, I think that's when the Vietnamese dong can really Vietnam can really step up and say, we're not, we can't be a part of this type of communism anymore, and we're going to start breaking away from it. And as they break away from the communism, it's gonna rise to Vietnamese dong. But also it's connected with silver, according to Apostle Solomon. So, and I've talked about that in the past as well. And so the Vietnamese dong and silver, Vietnamese dong, and Litecoin are almost seemingly connected for some reason. I think Vietnam must have a ton of silver or something like that. So for it to be that connected, I guess they have a ton of silver in their reserves. Maybe I don't know. I don't know why silver and Vietnamese dong and Litecoin are connected, but I guess we'll find out in the future, won't we? Okay, so let's go over to Dream now, and I'm not going to say the person's name. The person's on Patreon, so I did say I was going to make a video, but I'm going to make two different videos, because one for XRP and one for Vietnam. I could have connected both of them, but I was like, nah, people want these videos separate. XRP and Vietnam have nothing to do with each other. So if it was Litecoin, that might have been a different story, because I've been talking about the comparison between Litecoin, silver, and the Vietnamese dong for a couple years now. So all right. Of course, a lot of those videos are gone now because the channel has been terminated. So we only have memories now of a lot of that information. Okay, so let's see what this person said. They said, I'll tell you this, Currency. Some time ago, the Lord allowed me to hear the stock exchange bell ringing. Okay. So man, I'm not sure if he was at the New York Stock Exchange or the Chicago Exchange or any of the exchanges around the world, But he says that I'm not sure if this is a dream or a vision, but he said the Lord allowed him and it is a he, to hear the stock exchange, which is kind of interesting. And here not the stock exchange that people talking, but the bell ringing. So okay, it says and the announcer. Okay, so wow. Okay, and then the announcer announcing the Vietnamese dong. Wow. Okay, so interesting. I remember when Apostle said that when the dinar revalued, some guy came out of the bank and said the Vietnamese dong has revalued. The dong has revalued. So it was almost like that type of announcing. So, but this guy was at the stock exchange. Okay, so the announcer at the stock exchange announcing the Vietnamese dong, and when it was done, and when this was done. Okay, um, so when he finished announcing the Vietnamese dong, I'm guessing that's what he's saying. The crowd roared loudly. Now, why would the crowd roar loudly? They don't own the Vietnamese dong, right? So why would the crowd roar loudly if they don't own the Vietnamese dong? I wonder if he was at a New York at a stock exchange in Vietnam, right? Because if you announce that the Vietnamese dong has revalued in the American stock exchange, no one would give a crap. They'll be looking at you like, what? What is that? Who? Vietnamese dong. What is it got? What is that? So we deal in dollars. That's all we care about. The people at the New York Stock Exchange and Chicago Stock Exchange, they don't give a crap about no other currency but the dollar. The dollar has become their gods, right? So they wouldn't give a crap, right? So this almost seems like this almost seems like he was at a stock exchange at Vietnam or something. You know what I mean? Because they would be the ones that would go crazy over a big revaluation of their own currency and purchasing power, right? Um. Okay, so it says so the crowd roared loudly. This is what I heard. Okay. She says the announcer said, and also, does American Stock Exchanges have an announcer? I've never seen one. I know that people can ring the bell, but I don't know any stock exchange I've never seen a stock exchange announcer, but maybe there is one, right? So I don't know. I've never seen one. What does he do? Just you know, or is he maybe he's you mean the floor announcer, the guy that calls the buys and sells and the stock prices on the floor? Maybe that's what he's talking about. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, um, it says the announcer said, and this is interesting. It says the announcer said the blank is out. What does that mean? The announcer said the blank is out and the dong is where it's at. Huh? The announcer said the blank is out. I don't know what that means. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he messed up on that part, or that was on purpose, or I don't know. The announcer said the blank BLANK is out. What does that mean? The blank is out. It's almost like as if he said, if it was the announcer said, and then he didn't want to actually say what that was, and then maybe he didn't know in a dream, so he just said blank. I don't know. you know, um, I don't know. The announcer said something is out. Okay, and the dong is where it's at. Something is out and the dong is where it's at. I don't get it. Anyways, um, okay. It says, so if this means anything, it should mean the price of it will, meaning the Vietnamese dong, the price of it will do well above everyone's expectation. I don't even know what you said. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure out what he said. The announcer said the blank is out. I think this has to be a typo, right? The blank is out. I'm okay. Now I'm thinking he meant the dinar. The announcer said the announcer said the dinar is out and the dong is where it's at, meaning price range. Meaning if the dinar comes out of the dollar and the dong revalues and it's at a dollar, then that is more than people's expectation, and that's a shocking. That will be more than everybody's expectation. So maybe that's what he meant. I don't know. The announcer said the blank is out and the dong is where it's at. I'm thinking that has the announcer said the blank is out. The dinar is out. Maybe that's what he meant. Maybe the announcer said the dinar is out and the dong is where and the dong is where it's at in price range. Okay, maybe that's what he meant. I don't know. Trying to decipher this thing. And maybe he'll message me and clear it up. I don't know. But I'm thinking that's what he meant. The announcer said that the dinar is out and the dong is where it's at, or it could be something else. Might not be the dinar. It could be something else. All right. Anyway, so he says, and so if this means anything, it should mean that the price of it will do well above everyone's expectation. So, well, you can't compare that if it's not the dinar, wouldn't it? So I'm just thinking it's the dinar that he meant. He probably meant that. So he said that the blank was probably the dinar is out. Maybe that might be a typo or some type of autocorrection. I don't know. But anyways, because he's saying that it's gonna be better than everyone's expectation. Well, my expectation for the Vietnamese dong was 50 cents to $1. So you know what I mean. So that will be right at expectations, right? So if it comes out at a dollar, right at expect one is 1 to 1 to the USD. That's my expectation, right? So 50 cents to a dollar is my expectation. So could it run up to $3? Of course, but my expectation is 50 cents to a dollar. Now, if the Vietnamese dong is at $3, that's more than my expectations, right? And I will take it. Okay. And then he says his name is blah 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 blah, and I am the Lord's watchman. This is what he calls me. Nice to meet you. I normally stay silent about these things, but you asked if anyone had any information so on that. So here it is. All right. So I'm still kind of confused on the announcer said the blank is out and the dong is where it's at. I don't know what that means. I'm just gonna guess that it's the dinar. That the announcer announced that the dinar's out and that the Vietnamese dong is at the price near the same price as the Iraqi dinar. But I could be wrong on there. It could be something else. It could be that maybe the bank is out. Maybe I really don't know off the top of my head while I'm doing a video. Like I can come up with a whole bunch of things once this video is over. But when I'm doing a video and I gotta do that, sometimes you go blank. So some of you guys probably know exactly what it means, and so you can figure it out yourselves, or you can comment in the comment section of maybe hit me up on Twitter or hit me up on Patreon or hit me up in the Telegram groups if you understand what it means. But if you don't, it's all good. All that we need to understand is that the Vietnamese dong is going to make a move at some point. So I'm just holding on, holding my not. And the crazy part about it is that Nobody's crying over the Vietnamese dong. You know, the only currency people are crying over was the Iraqi dinar. We barely heard anybody cry over the Vietnamese dong. We definitely didn't hear anybody cry over the South Korean won. We barely heard anybody cry over the Indonesia rupiah. We've definitely heard people cry over the Zimbabwe, right? So Zimbabwe and the Iraqi dinar have been the two currencies that people have really, really cried over and cried out to God about, right? To please end end this waiting period, right? But the Vietnamese dong, people haven't really said much about it or even had any type of spiritual attached to it or emotional attachment like they do to dinar, right? They'll let it off the hook, but they will scream at dinar all day long, right? So, you Iraqis, you this and that, you corrupt, you people are awful. They will waste their energy on that. But when it comes to Vietnamese dong, and they're corrupt too, but they won't. You don't hear anything about them. They're like, yeah, I got my Vietnamese. They be like, yeah, I got my Vietnamese dog. I'm just waiting on it. But why didn't you give it the same energy that you're giving Iraq though? I mean, you're waiting for both of them. So it's kind of weird, that people do that. But I think the whole community, the Dinar community, has done that, and I think it's because it's called the Dinar community. It's not called the Vietnamese Dong community, right? Um, and so I guess because it's called the dinar community and 90% of the information is about the dinar, that's why people give the dinar more emotional baggage and have more attachment to it than they do the other currencies that are supposed to revalue and make people wealthy as well. So it is kind of interesting. Nobody talks about South Korea or Indonesia, or even the Vietnamese dong like that, and they don't give it that emotional attention that they do Iraq. So pretty interesting. Okay, so that's the dream. I'm still trying to figure out what that meant at the with the announcer, but it is what it is. I think the Vietnamese dong is going to come out around 50 cents to $1. If anything above that would be a higher expectations, way past my expectations, because I am sitting at that. I am thinking about that 50 cents to $1 area, and I've been that way for a long time though. I've been in that area. At first, I thought it was going to come out around. I mean, they told us 5 cents, so you know what I mean. And then Wang Dang and everybody else was talking about 5 cents for years. And then I then started to think, no, I think we're gonna go higher than that. Maybe 2015 to 25 cents, 15 to 35 cents. Then I started coming around the 50 cents area. I'll say I think we're gonna do 50 cents now because the economy of Vietnam is booming still, right? And so it was still booming. So I was like, yo, this thing should be at 50 cents. It should have 10x by now. The economy is booming for imports and exports, even though the people don't see the value of it and they don't see any trickle down effect on there. But the economy is booming in Vietnam, and they're competing with China and imports and exports. Like, yeah, that's 50 cents. So now I'm like 50 cents to $1. Anything higher than that is past my expectation, and it's definitely a bonus and a blessing. But 50 cents a blessing, $100, $1, excuse me, is a blessing. 75 cents is also a blessing as well. All right, guys and girls, hope you guys are doing well. That was the dream by one of the guys on Patreon. He'll probably message me if he hears this video. If he doesn't, somebody else will probably message me and try to give me the interpretation of that part when the announcers says that the blank is in and the Vietnamese dong is somewhere there or whatever it was. You know what I mean? Anyways, peace out, God bless. I'm gonna do the XRP video next. Bye.